Okay, excuse me. Last night I had taken these two panels that I've been working on, the two 4-foot by 6-foot, and moved them back here so I could work on several paintings at the front wall, my painting wall, what I've been calling my painting wall. And I realized all of a sudden I could see the colors. I mean, that's great and unfortunate at the same time, because the colors, as you can see, are very, very cartoony. What I've been working on, however, I'm trying to ignore that, and what I've been working on is filling in ghostly images of hands up in the air using Neo McGill Galkid light, like I've been talking about a lot lately, a mixture of transparent earth red, a turquoise blue, and an electric blue, and what is it, buff titanium, I believe. It's an off-white color. And so I've come up with this really nice, like, slate gray. I'm going to go scoop up right now with my paintbrush. Scoop some up. And I've been doing the outlines of the hands. This one, last night, I thought I'd paint the center of and just see how it went. And then I remembered, oh, you weren't going to do that. That was not part of the plan. But the world won't end because I've done that. I could probably it'll probably lead to something else that's very interesting down the road, or at least interesting to me. So right now, or for the past hour, I've been painting in almost like stick figure images of hands. Hands and fingers reaching up. Doing that. So you can't really see them clearly, but it's just a notation for an idea that I'll be working on further later. Right now they look like kindergartner, Thanksgiving turkey hands, and that's okay. That is quite all right with me. Now, the last time I did images of hands in the air, the last time I did something like this on canvas, I had taken aerosols and done images in the hands. I worked them in the hands so that the background, if I remember correctly, was slightly more solid. This time I want to do the hands a little bit more solid. Almost, not any particular skin color, more of a slate gray, I think, like this one. I think I'll give him a little bit more detail though, and use the designs around the hands. Almost like the crowd reaching up is in silhouette. I'm just grabbing some more paint so I can finish making this particular notation. And that's all this is. I'm making notations. And later on, I'll have to be more exact. Look at this. They're really just so Fred Flintstone, my little fingers and hands. All of my hands, if you look at any of my paintings, they all start off like this. None of the hands have exact shape. I don't do Rembrandt, I do Beck. Which means inexact and full of mistakes and stuff I'll figure out later. Because I love the adventure of painting. I love the adventure of creating stuff like this. I was kind of flipping out the other night because I have 3 faces in this painting. 1, 2, let me move this. Whoops. 1, 2, 3. And they're all kind of cartoony, and they're over the top, silly, and bright, bright, bright. So I was kind of flipping out because I don't ever, ever want my stuff to be cutesy. I've done the cutesy, and it got me nowhere. And I found it really deeply, profoundly uninteresting. So, although these are bright, they won't stay this way. Hopefully they won't stay cutesy there'll be an edge to them sooner or later at some point in time, even my silly little hands up in the background. You can see on this canvas where I've already started going in with yellow aerosol and making little flower and star shapes. And then I did bring some more of the yellow aerosol into this particular canvas, but I'm not going to have, I don't want to have it to, I don't want this canvas to be as thick with yellow as this canvas. The flow would be wrong. It would just seem flat. It might have worked, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm doing instead is, where are my little thingies? Oh, here they are. I have a little popsicle stick holder thing that I found on the streets in East Providence a couple years ago. So I'm spraying in those shapes. They look like little hands. So they're mirroring the idea of hands. And I want to use less yellow on this side and more other color. But just to keep it somewhat consistent and connected, I'm going to use some of these little, whatever color this is, Celadon hands in this canvas as well. Not a lot of them, but I do like the way they feel. When you can see it up close, they don't really register, but they do, and they feel like snowflakes. They feel like Celadon snowflakes, almost like little hands falling out of the sky, or little spiders. They could also be little spiders, which would be creepy. So I think I have a couple dozen of these little hands in this side of the canvas, not putting as many on that side, just a few, to tie it together. You know, I have to make a trip to the art supply store and get some more paint, because I'm getting low. I'm now down to using my light green that I don't really like. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that particular shape. Not particularly sure about that shape, but it's okay. It's not that big a deal. Because what do I always say? It's all fixable. And it's just a big painting project. So I didn't really like that shape, but I have been having fun using this one. I don't know why. Where did I use it? I used it somewhere over there. And I want to go lightly with this thing. I want the, oh, look at that. Oh, I love the way that looks. I want the orange to show through. So I'm going to go lightly with this very light green. And I'm going to make sure to wipe off, we're going to grab some mineral spirits. Make sure I wipe off any aerosol that falls on anything that's already been hit with oil. Those are only tiny bits of it's only a little bit of aerosol that's fallen on oil paint. But the problem is it won't stick. And it may not be next year, it may not be in 10 years, but over time, those little flecks will peel off. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And it could end up being something interesting. Who knows? All right. I got to go back to paying attention to what I'm doing and stop knocking things over. If you have any more questions or comments, please let me know. I had someone ask me if you can put acrylic over aerosol, like I'm doing with my oils. Yes, you can. But don't go too thick on either, because it will crack. As the canvas expands and contracts, it'll start cracking, and then you will have nothing but a big, crackly painting, which we don't want. Oh my God, I gotta repair this. But again, it's all fixable. So if you have any more questions or comments, please put them in on the YouTube channel or message me. Either way, I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. All right? Thanks. Ciao.